Yeah, this is my first time. It's my first time in Australia, and it's awesome. I have a job. I get to travel now. My first job before I did this, I worked at KFC. Yeah, thank you. I worked at KFC for 3 weeks, which is the longest anyone has ever worked at a KFC. I have a pension, and what you're supposed to do when someone walks into a KFC is say, "Can I help you?" The KFC that I worked at was in New York City's Penn Station, and I worked the 1 a.m. to 8 a.m. shift. At 1 o'clock in the morning in a fast food restaurant in a train station, "Can I help you?" is not good customer service. It's a promise you can't keep. This woman came in once, and she was at least 350 pounds. And she, by the way, I'm sorry, I know you guys use kilograms. She was like a bazillion kilograms. Or, it's harder in the UK, because there they use like, that's right, there they use stones. So it had to be like, this woman came in, she was 4 boulders. And she gets to the front, and by the way, I didn't mind people who were unhappy who came into KFC. It's part of the job. I preferred that to people who pretended it was a real restaurant. People who would come in with the same expression, they're like, And they'd say things like, "What's the healthiest thing on the menu?" And I'd be like, "Leaving, that's the healthiest thing." This woman came in once, enormous, this lady. And like, it's unhappy, but I'm used to unhappy people. I preferred them, but this one, she gets to the counter, and I said, "Can I help you?" She went, "I don't know, can you?" I was like, yeah, of course, we have chicken. And I was like, "What would you like to eat?" And she went, "I don't know!" And I was like, "Well, what are you feeling?" Which is also the wrong question. Because she goes, "Well, I'm tired, and I'm homesick, and I miss my family. What do you think I should get, you little asshole?" And because I was like 17, and I had no other training and no other options, I was like, "If you miss your family, we have a family bucket you can get." I miss working at KFC a tiny bit. I miss the face-to-face. I cared about my customers. I treat my customers like I treat my ladies. They always come first. Or leave disappointed holding a bag of chicken. And and it's weird because sometimes I get crappy customer service and I don't understand, because like all of us have done bad jobs, and sometimes you meet an unhappy person. Like, I got into a fight this summer in a vegan cupcake shop in East London. I walked in, I was really sweaty. I'd been jogging. It was summer, and I said to the guy behind the counter, I said, "Could I have a glass of tap water, please?" And he said, "We only sell cupcakes." And I said, "My middle name is David." And he said, "What?" And I said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I thought we were taking turns saying things that aren't relevant to the things that come before them." So like, "I'll buy a cupcake, but I'd like a free glass of tap water." And the guy said, "We only sell cupcakes. That's our philosophy." I was like, "I studied philosophy in college. No one ever mentioned cupcakes." The guy said, "We only sell cupcakes. Unless the cupcake or part of a cupcake." He explains they sell the top and the bottom of the cupcake individually, or the frosting as a shot. It's one of these places. Goes, "We only sell cupcakes. Unless a cupcake or part of a cupcake or a cupcake product, I can't help you." And he looks down like the conversation's done. The conversation's not done. I was like, "Excuse me, mate. What goes into a cupcake?" And the guy's like, "What?" I said, "What are the ingredients in a vegan cupcake when you can't use milk?" And the guy said, sugar. And I said, what else? And the guy said, flour. And I said, what else? And the guy looked at me, and after a few seconds, he just went, cupcake. Have you ever been in a situation and you feel yourself crossing the line from victim to lunatic? I'm leaning against a counter in a vegan cupcake place in London, and I'm screaming at someone, I'm not leaving here until I get a glass of tap water. And the manager comes out. He's like, is there a problem? Like, you bet your butt there's a problem. Your employee. And he cuts me off and he goes, that's not an employee. And I was like, he doesn't work here? And he goes, he works here. We just don't call them employees. And then I was angry about a whole new thing. And I did that thing where you start talking so low because you cannot believe what the fuck is happening right in front of your face. I was like, what do you call them? Muffin artists or some shit like that? And the guy said, sir, that's a brand ambassador. And we don't have any water, so I suggest you. And I said, you don't have any water? He goes, no. I said, you only sell cupcakes? He said, we only have cupcakes. And I said really calmly.
It's been a weird few weeks, though. I was involved in a breakup last month. No, don't. It wasn't my breakup. No. I was at a Starbucks, and there was a couple sitting behind me, and I got involved in the breakup. It was a guy and a girl. I was sitting there, I was reading a book called Purity by Jonathan Franzen, which is a really good book, but it's not more interesting than hearing someone go, give me one good reason we shouldn't go out anymore, Michelle. And I was like, this can close. And the whole Starbucks was like, is this a public breakup? Like, we've heard the legends, but is this happening in front of us? And my first thought was like, who breaks up in person? Right? You stop texting, you unfriend, they go away. It's how it works. She was clearly the one doing the breaking up because he said, give me one good reason we shouldn't go out anymore. And by the way, she misheard him. Because he said, give me one good reason, and she heard, give me 35 reasons in a row, in public, as loudly as possible. And all of these reasons were variations on, you're not smart enough for me. She could have just said that. She didn't. She took a scenic route. He's like, give me one good reason we shouldn't go out anymore, Michelle. She's like, you're not smart enough for you, not educated for you, not mature enough for you, not emotionally mature enough for you, not sophisticated enough for you, takes music bad, takes clothing is like, look at you. I can't remember like last time I picked up a book or magazine or a court. You're not intellectually curious. Your vocabulary isn't as extensive as I would like. And you're not very erudite. And you could see the whole Starbucks be like, he said one reason, right? And you could see the poor guy like wanting to argue with her, but also thinking like, what does erudite mean? And this is where I stepped in. She said, hey, Kev, which by the way, that is enough of a reason for me. Hey, Kev, we should just be friends. That is the worst possible start to a friendship. Hey, I never want to have sex with you ever again. Here's a laundry list of reasons you're one of the dumbest people I've ever met. Also, we should hang out sometime. And I turned around in a crowded Starbucks. I couldn't help myself, and I went, he has enough friends. And the whole Starbucks stopped live tweeting the breakup, and they're like, what the fuck is happening now? And this guy sold me out immediately. He went, he's not with me. And I was so caught up in the moment that I was like, Kev, I'm with you all the way.